What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. The other day, I did a video on the case of Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony killed Austin Metcalf. They were both 17-year-old kids. Happened at a track meet, and I said that I would probably be following up as the news develops, as things form, take shape. I will give my 2 cents, and I will try to stay down the middle, give my opinion based on my life experiences, my understanding. And you know what's strange? So I did that video. And one of the things that I talked about is how these outside entities want to get involved. Supposedly, there's some white supremacist groups that have made statements and threats. Supposedly, there's been some black groups that have made some threats and some statements. And I've been pretty damn clear on my belief that all that does is taints a jury pool. All that does is get people to pick a side and feel a certain way. And there's no way that there's going to be any type of justice when you have stuff like that happen, right? And here we are today. In my comments, in videos that had nothing, absolutely zero, nothing to do with the Carmelo Anthony case, not even on the same channel, on my main channel, my big channel, I have people telling me, why are you talking about black people's business? What? What is that? They're talking about the Carmelo Anthony case. And so they brought up this case to me. I never heard of it. And it's Case and Allison. Another killing that happened in Texas. Case and Allison is a white kid who killed a Mexican kid by the name of Joe Ramirez. Apparently, Case and Allison and Joe Ramirez had agreed. I don't know. I tried looking the case up. It's already a few years old. The trial was just rested. I don't know if there's a verdict yet. But from what I was able to gather, allegedly, apparently, they agreed to fight in the bathroom. Other students followed them into the bathroom. One of Joe Ramirez's friends filmed the fight. And in the footage, allegedly, Joe Ramirez takes a swing at Case and Allison. Excuse me, let me say his name right. Case and Allison. And Case and Allison then hits Joe Ramirez with a knife. And then the kids take off running. And then the hallway cameras in the school show Joe Ramirez walking down the hallway and then collapsing. The school nurse ran over and started trying to perform life-saving measures. And Joe Ramirez died. Very unfortunate. And then in the news it said that Case and Allison also beat up a family member. So I don't know. It seems like this must be an angry kid or something like that. But the comments that were made, how come you're not talking about this? And he's a Mexican kid. And I say it a lot in my videos, man. I say it a lot. It is amazing to me how race is made a part of so many things in America. I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. In this case, you had two kids say, hey, let's go fight. And one of them pulled out a knife and stabbed the other one. in my lifetime, I've heard that happen a whole lot of times. And, you know, a lot of people would say that's a coward move. If you weren't down enough to fight, then you shouldn't open your mouth and you should just be like, I'm cool. I'm not trying to fight you. I don't know what I don't know what contrasts I'm supposed to find, you know, as far as like, am I supposed to? I think people are trying to make it seem as though, you know, if you're willing to speak on this black child, then why don't you speak on this Mexican child with this white kid? And like I said, this Case and Allison case, it's a few years old and nobody really heard about it. This Carmelo Anthony case is pretty big. And there's going to be people, and I can hear it already in my ears. Well, they're making it big because it's a black guy, but see, when a white guy does it. And to that, I would say this. There are people across the United States today being killed. The United States is a very violent place. And people are dying. People are being murdered all across the United States today. Yesterday, people were murdered. The day before, people were murdered. Tomorrow, people will be murdered. And we're not going to hear about every one of those cases. And sometimes it is a black person killing a white person. Sometimes it's a white person killing a black person. Sometimes it's a black person killing a black person or a brown person. Like, for some reason, people choose to bite that hook, that racial divide hook, not realizing how easily manipulated they are, how easily triggered they are if people bring up race. If you know what sets a person off, you can easily control that person. And unfortunately, there's a huge swath of this population here in this country that when something is made to seem as though it's racism, then the response is hateful, spiteful, angry, incoherent. I just talked about today how, in another video, luckily I'm a realist. When I look at things, I want to analyze them. I don't want to just jump off the deep end. These two cases in Texas are unfortunate. Families are destroyed. No one will get justice. They say that in this one, this Case and Allison guy, he's facing between 5 and 99 years. I don't know what he's going to get. The case just rested. We'll hear something within the next day or 3, probably. I don't know. For those of you that were in my comment section that want to make this a racial thing, I don't know what you want to hear from me. But what I'm telling you is this. People are dying every day. Black people, white people, Mexicans, Asians. Not all of these things are racial, regardless of who's involved. They're hateful. That's all it is. And as long as people keep wanting everything to be about race, things won't get better. Morgan Freeman, the actor, talked about that. The best way to end racism in this country and in the world is to stop talking about it. You know, I get it. We don't always get, like, I've gone into stores and been followed. Did I like it? No. Did I know I was being profiled? Yes. Am I covered in tattoos with a bald head? Yes. It isn't because I'm Mexican. It's because I unfortunately fit a profile. But when we want to just label everything racism, I'm telling you right now, that word means pretty much nothing to me now. And the reason why it means nothing to me is because it's so overused. I just watched a video on TikTok today. And there was a detective. I don't know if he was Italian. I don't know if he was so-called Hispanic. I'm Mexican. I hate the word Hispanic, but I'm going to use that word because I don't know what he was. And he was a detective. And he was so arrogant that he parked in a handicapped parking. And a black female police officer told him, move that car or I'm going to get you towed. A black patrol officer told a detective, you're not going to park. Just because you got a badge doesn't mean you get to abuse your authority. Move your car or I'm going to have it towed. And what did this person say? Again, I don't know if he was Italian. I don't know if he was Hispanic. I don't know what he was. Do you know that he told that black patrol officer that she was being racist? She was enforcing the law. But even he says it's racism. It's the favorite cry and cop-out of America. Put the tissue down and hold yourself accountable and responsible for what you do. And let's try to get everyone to do that across the board. The fact that I made a video about a case that is big right now had nothing to do with race. This case here, Kaysen Allison and Joe Ramirez, I don't see that as a case that was based on race. These are high school kids doing what they do, doing what's been done for a very long time. And it's been happening so long, it's like, when is it going to stop? They may never stop. But we can't stop saying this is race-based. This is racially motivated. This is racism. No, it's fucking hate. Like I said, I read in one of the articles I looked at, and I looked at this stuff for about an hour before I got on, so it's not in depth. And like I said, I read where supposedly Kaysen Allison also struck a family member or assaulted a family member. This is somebody that may be dealing with some anger issues. Obviously, if you pulled out a knife in a fist fight. Everybody fist fought when they were kids. You win or you lose and you take your lickings and you keep moving. Well, Kaysen Allison didn't think that way. And I've said this for years on my channel. Your idea of a fair fight doesn't mean the next guy's idea is the same as yours. You may think a fair fight is fist fight. That's it. We're just going to use our fists. The other guy is like, I'm not losing. I'm going to pull a bat out. I'm going to pull a knife out. I'm going to pull a gun out. That's a fair fight to him. You don't get to choose what's fair to him. So instead, why don't we just learn how to resolve conflicts without physicality, without violence? I don't know what you guys expected out of me, but I don't see either one of these cases as being race-based, racially motivated. So let's, as I report on these, on the Carmelo Anthony case, as things unfold, again, I will give my opinion based off of my beliefs and my life experience. That's my video for today, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.